Hello and welcome to Juicy Scoop. I'm so excited. I have Vanderpump Rules star Ariana Madix, author of Fancy as Fuck Cocktails.
Yeah.
We've met a few times over the years.
Yes.
This is the first time you've come on Juicy Scoop.
Yeah, it took me long enough.
I know. And so the show just premiered on Tuesday, which of course everybody was watching. And I have lots of questions for you, but so you're all in your new houses, which I thought was pretty funny the way that they featured the fact that they were very similar styles.
People must have really loved my house because they all copied.
Were you the first to purchase?
Yes. Absolutely, yes. And we looked at like 30 houses in all different areas of LA before we decided on what we got. So we looked at multi-level homes in the hills, that are, you got to carry your groceries up from that garage or park on the street. We looked at, older homes that
needed work,
to make it function, but like had a lot of beautiful character to them.
Yeah.
We looked at this like storybook Tudor house in Toluca Lake. We really looked at, because when our real estate agent, who's been friends with Tom since they were in elementary school, asked us, what do you want? It was like, well, we know what we don't want, but like we're not like married to one specific area or once. It's like when we see it, we'll see it and we'll know.
And so then you saw it.
Yeah.
And then you're like, this is so great.
I could not breathe.
Just that it was just completely done, brand new,
right?
Oh
my God,
so it was like a
teardown
that they completely rebuilt.
It used to be a tennis court.
Oh.
So my house and my neighbor's house, for a while there on Google Image, it would like Street View would still show like the old house.
Right.
And it was like this like 1980s tan and white kind of like old school 90s sitcom house.
Okay.
And it was really big and it had a tennis court. And so then when the developer bought it, they got rid of all of that and put two fairly large houses on.
Now, is
there.
the same builder the builder that did Jax's and
No.
And who's the other person that bought?
Schwartz and Katie.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
No, ours was very, I don't know. When we were shopping for houses, I can't tell. I am not inspecting any of their houses.
Yeah.
But when we were looking at some houses, we had looked at some of these kind of like McMansion style houses. Yeah. And our real estate agent would be like, this is B construction.
Right.
Or this is like, they did this quick. And ours was like top notch A construction. And so we were like, that's good. Because I've always been very skeptical of these like concrete block things that go up all over LA.
Right.
And thinking like it's going to fall apart in like 2 seconds.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that we got what we got.
So then you guys all end up in the same area, Valley Village, and Kristen's not too far from you guys either.
She's a little east of Schwartz and Katie.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought that was cute the way they like got in the car and showed like how physically
how to drive to each other's houses.
And in purchasing the house, was anybody thinking like, well, we don't want to be in a gated community where they might restrict filming, or we want to make sure we can film in our house? And then the fact that it all worked out, weren't you guys like, well, this is kind of great since we're all still friends. It'll make filming easy that we're close. We're not in the same apartment building, but
yeah, I think production loves it.
Yeah, I think so.
I think it makes life a lot easier. It's at least as easy as it was when we were all living.
Well, at least there's a little more room
walkable distance,
but a little more room for the cameraman than the tiny West Hollywood apartments.
Yeah, but then they had to go through. We have in-ceiling lighting.
Oh, okay.
And they had to go through and put gels over every single one of those before we started filming. Which is a lot.
And then does that just stay up there for the whole 3 months?
You might as well.
Yeah.
It's like in an old apartment we had a China ball up it was like, why take it down at this point?
It's a China ball.
It's one of those paper.
Like a fun China ball, but that was part of but for lighting.
For lighting,
like for professional
they would
lighting.
add. Yeah, they would add, and so it was like people would be like, "Why do you have this like cheap ass light on your ceiling?" It's like, well, because if we take it down,
right,
they're just gonna put it back
it's
up.
Gonna take another 30 minutes before you can.
Yeah,
do
so
your
now
thing.
we just said, well, I guess we have this light now.
So this season for you is how many seasons? What season did you enter in?
2. So
and
7.
So how did it come about? Like, were you already a waitress at the place and the show was already going on? Or like explain how you got into it.
When I moved to LA,
Where'd you move in? Where'd you come from?
I came from New York, but I'm from Florida
Okay.
originally. I've been bartending since I was living in New York, and so when I came to LA, I was like, that's the best way to make the most money
Right.
and be the most flexible to do other things. So I started bartending at Villa Blanca, and that was, I think, like the beginning of 2011, which is right around the time that they were filming the pilot.
Oh, okay.
So I worked there for many months, and then all of a sudden, I had a release form, and there's a camera crew, and I was like, "Oh, this is weird. Like, what's going on? Like, what's filming?" And they were like, "Oh, Housewives, you know." And I was like, "What do you mean house?" Like, I was like, at that point, I thought there was only one Housewives show.
Oh, you didn't even know about Beverly
No,
Hills.
and I had no idea. I didn't know about Beverly Hills, and I didn't know that the owner of the restaurant was a reality star. I didn't like.
Had you ever met Lisa at that point?
If I had seen her and they said that's the owner, there was never not a lot of interaction.
Got it.
And then after that, I was like, oh wow, okay, well, I'm an idiot. And then maybe like Sheena really wanted me to. She's like, just train at Sir, pick up a couple of shifts. Like, I don't have any girlfriends over there. Like, and everybody at Villa Blanca was really, really good. Like. Solid friends.
And at that time, Sheena is because Sheena really was the pinnacle because it was
she is like the OG.
Yeah, because it was her storyline in that she had a relationship with Brandi Glanville's husband Eddie Cibrian, and according to Sheena, she wasn't aware that he was married, and so then I remember the episode was like she happened to be working there, and then Brandi's like, "Oh my God." That she's a homewrecker. And I'm like, yeah, but then we all saw when he got with Leanne, Rhymes.
I'm like
it wasn't really.
I feel like it takes two to tango, but at the same time, I feel like he was a real piece of shit.
Yeah, but that was like the first introduction to like, the people that work at her restaurant.
And it was like one of those things like they did with Summer House where they just kind of keep going.
Right.
And then you're watching a different show.
Yes.
It's just crazy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So at that point when she says, come over to Sir, had the show been begun or this was still like
I think it was they had just maybe finished filming like the first season. I don't know if it had aired or if it was maybe I didn't watch it when it did, so I don't know the timeline.
What was your opinion about ever being on a reality show?
Well, I wasn't so much opposed to it, and the idea of I don't want to be on TV. I was an actor, so that's what I moved to LA for. But I also got in a relationship with somebody who said people who are on reality TV are disgusting fame whores and was like really not down with me even being friends with anybody who was on the show. And I was very afraid of him. So there were a lot of
you were very afraid of this guy.
So there were a lot of turmoil and, mental
manipulation.
Things like that. And then it's also like, yeah, but it's my friend Sheena's birthday party. And they're obviously going to film it.
Right.
Or like Tom Sandoval's 30th birthday party. Like I was there, but I came after they stopped filming because I was like afraid. I was like so afraid of like what the repercussions of getting involved.
Because of the mean boyfriend?
Yes. I would always assure him like, I'm not. I don't know. It was awful.
Yes.
But so there were a lot of like conflicting things.
So when you moved to LA, did you have like an agent? Were you going out for acting stuff?
Yeah, I had a manager and I was going out for acting stuff and just I was doing little things here and there. It takes a while to kind of build up resume and things like that. But I've had the manager I have now is the same manager I've had since before I was ever on Vanderpump Rules.
So when tell me how the opportunity came up. So then
they wanted me to be more involved.
Okay.
Sheena obviously asked me to be this backup dancer season 1, and that's when I was with this guy.
When she did her first song?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I was like, well, as a performer, as somebody, I've always did musical theater and dance and music. I was like, that would be fun. Like I would do that. Like that's performing. And then they wanted me to stick around like after the rehearsal and gossip. And I was like, first of all, I am already overdrawn on my bank account. my meter is up downstairs. I have to leave. Like, I have to
Right.
leave. And I also, like, am terrified of now all of a sudden I'm doing this thing that I was told I wasn't going to have to do. And in this world that I didn't really think was this. And so that was like the first foray into things. I mean, I slayed that fucking choreography. And I
Yeah.
watch it back. I'm like, damn, girl, get it.
Wait,
But then my
what song
acting
was
teacher
that?
told
Wait.
me I should do the show.
The acting teacher did.
Yeah, my acting teacher was like, whoever is telling you not to do the show is an idiot. You should do it. Like, take opportunities that are in front of
Yes.
you and make it what you want. Like, if you're not going to act like an asshole, they can't show you be an ass. You know, like,
Yeah.
they're just going to show who you are. So just be
And
you.
what was the famous scene on the beach where you were saying to like Kristen that you take sketch comedy
Hell
extremely
yeah.
seriously and you had an
Yes.
issue with her doing it, or what was that all about?
So I had a friend of mine who is insanely talented. A couple of friends, actually. One of them is now an Emmy award-winning choreographer, performer.
Okay.
At the time, they were doing stuff at UCB and they were struggling to fill. They're like, trying to promote it all the time on Instagram and or on Twitter, or like text people like, we're doing this show,
Yeah.
And they are so talented and so good at what they do. And I'm watching this and then I'm seeing like, oh, you can just be on a reality show. And then you have a platform.
Yeah.
Like, I thought that was fucked up.
Okay.
So I was like, this is fucked up because you don't even care about this and you don't even do this. You don't get paid to do it. You're just trying to find something to do, for content, basically. And
Yeah.
meanwhile, I have these friends that are like fucking killing it
Right.
and no one's going to see them. And I was like, I hate this. And you guys are assholes.
Yes. I mean, that's the thing. It was hard. And I think that's why for a long time, actors and people looked down on reality stars
Right.
because it was jealousy. And I always was like, I was always super entertained by reality shows. From the moment I saw Real World
Oh,
20 something years ago, I was like,
Change the game.
I would like go to bed dreaming about it. Like I was like, this is so interesting. This is so great. So I never was like a hater. I was like, no, I'm intrigued by it. Like I'm
Yeah.
intrigued about the casting process and whatever. And sometimes it's a bummer when you do see people change, and
Of
because like
course,
I'll
yeah.
meet them first season of whatever they're doing and they come on the show and they're like excited to be on Juicy Scoop, and then like a year or two later it's like, oh yeah, I'm really a big deal now. And I'm like, all right, girl, good luck to you. See where you are in 3 more.
Yeah,
like,
because that's
Yeah.
yeah.
and it's a little difficult, but I'm also like, well, especially I think it's different for you guys because you got into it younger, but with like Real Housewives, I always am like, look, these are women that were always pretty and probably wanted to be a star, but didn't want to put the work in and got married and had some money, and they were like the hottest one in the carpool lane. And then all of a sudden, they're on the cover of Us Weekly, something that like took Jen Aniston till she was 30 to do.
Right.
And after 25 pilots and, parents in the business and everything else.
Yeah,
and
thousands and thousands of dollars on like acting classes
and headshots and rejection, and like this wasn't any, there's no rejection in the reality show. It's like, well, my neighbor might want to do it. Great, she's in. And
We'll
that's
pay her
it.
$200.
You don't even really have to even,
Mhm.
And then, so I think with some people psychologically, it can be really damaging to people, and then other people, I kind of feel like you guys got into it at like the perfect age, because I think a child, it's hard, and
Yeah.
then like a woman over 40, it just basically is like, and now I'm getting divorced. Like there's and
those
this is
those
sort of-
milestones.
Yeah.
Those like yeah.
But you guys all pursuing entertainment and acting and modeling and comedy and whatever, to then get to be on a show where you are showing your side hustle and these are your real friends.
Mhm.
I think that I think it's worked out to be the best, because you also, no one was really, I mean, a couple of them were married in relationships, but I always was like when I met Carol Radswell of Real Housewives of New York, I said, you had it the best. I go, because you had no stakes. You didn't have a marriage that could be destroyed or a husband that could be hurt or kids that could get fucked up or bullied. Like you
Mhm.
were just by yourself having fun.
Yeah.
Like, but it's kind of rare in these other shows that you don't have to jeopardize other people that you care about.
Yeah, that's just tough.
You
yeah.
guys, when the show started, pretty much everybody, some people were couples, but they weren't married couples and they were
Mhm.
single. And I think that's what made it fun and what I think it's made you guys, sustainable.
Yeah, and I think what helps too is like the history and like how well everybody knows each other.
Mhm.
It's not hi, nice to meet you. We're going to be doing this show.
Right.
And your shirt annoys me. It's
Yeah.
like something you did 5 years ago that still sticks that because you know each other that well.
Right.
And I think that's what keeps it going. I think that's what keeps it real, and I think that that's why it works.
So you got out of your awful relationship with the
Yeah.
Mani Pot. And
Yeah.
then how did you and Tom, because I did watch it back then, but not as like religiously as I have for the last 3 seasons. So how did you and Tom Sandoval then get together? Because he originally on the show, he and Kristen were a long-term couple.
Mm-hmm. So I broke up and got back together with that guy a few
Yeah.
times. And then right after filming wrapped on season 2. So I remember because it was Sheena's like party. It was like July 27th or something. And everybody finds out about Kristen and Jax, and Tom punches Jax.
Which Kristen and Jax is this? That was the case where they all got really drunk, right? And a couple people went
Tom
to
went
bed.
to
A couple
bed,
people passed out
and then Kristen and Jax hooked up
on the couch.
while watching the movie Drive.
Okay.
And then they hooked up after that as well. There was like more than one.
And at that
thing.
time, Jax was still with Stassi.
He wasn't with her, but he was like trying to win her back.
Oh, okay, with Stassi, yeah.
Yeah, and Tom and Jax were best friends and had known each other for many, many years, and a mess.
And that did all get revealed on the show.
On the show, yes.
Where it was
which is insane.
It was denial.
The
And
second
then
season of Vanderpump Rules is just
a classic.
pure insanity. It's a Criterion Collection. Masterpiece Theater.
Yes.
So the finale is Sheena's engagement party. Tom punches Jax a bunch of times because Jax had zero remorse for any of this. And that was the finale of film. That was the last day of filming. So everyone's kind of like, okay.
And were you there for that?
I was there. I was hugging Sheena. Sheena was crying in my arms.
Because of her engagement party.
I was stoned as all hell, wearing Sheena's orange parachute pants. I was, I don't know what I was doing. And she was crying because she was scared, and I was hugging her. So, filming was over, and so it's like, it's not that people don't hang out when we're not filming, but of course, after something like that, people kind of tend to take a bit of a breather. And I went to San Francisco, and I went to a music festival, and then I came back, and I was at Sheena's apartment at Park La Brea. It was when her and Shay obviously were together, and we were hanging out, playing video games, listening to music, and Shay was like, "Oh, I made some new beats on my little machine thing," and I was like, "Fun, cool." And then Shay was like, "Oh, Tom Sandoval is gonna come over and get his amp or something like that." And so Tom came over to her apartment, and Shay's like, "Oh, playing the beats." Yeah, I don't know. Playing his beats. And I kept getting, basically my dad died that night. So I kept getting phone calls from it was like getting late, which for us as bartenders, what we think is late is not, or what we don't, we're on a different clock.
Yeah.
So, it was like 12 o'clock, and I'm getting like phone calls from my dad's cell phone, and I was like, this makes no sense. It's 3 o'clock in the morning where I'm from. So I was like, guys, I'm going to go. And so everybody's like, yeah, we're going to go too, blah, blah, blah. So I walk outside. I call the number back. I call my dad back. I'm like, what the hell is going on? And there's somebody at a hospital, blah, blah, blah. So then I didn't mean to get into this like deep, dark story about my dad. But so I like collapse in the parking lot. I'm wailing in the parking lot. It's like 12:31 a.m. Sheena and Shay hear me outside. They literally like pick me up off of the concrete and take me back inside. Shay drives to Silver Lake, picks up my dog to bring her over. And I guess Tom texted Sheena and said, that was sounded weird. Was everything okay after I left with Ariana? And she was like, actually, no.
Mm-hmm.
And Tom was like getting ready to go to bed at his apartment. And so he left and he came back and he sat there with me, Sheena, and Shay the whole night. And while I was like on the phone with my mom and all that. And so in the weeks following that, obviously I went home and there was a memorial and all of that.
And you're not filming at this time?
Not filming. It was right after season 2 finale.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. And so I'm at home and I come back to LA and Tom's just like, hey, just want to make sure. And I also, obviously, he's like, wish I could have been there. I feel horrible. And from those months where I was like deep dark again, I went through a phase of started talking to the ex again. It's like one of those, it's like people just know when you're vulnerable sometimes, I feel like. So I started talking to the ex again, and I was like, I full blown knowing this is the dumbest idea. Like, what are you? I was like self-sabotaging in that way.
Yeah.
And then I was like, no, fuck it, I'm not going to do this. And I was like, I feel like I need to start saying yes to things. So I was like going out on dates. I was never like, somebody asks you out, go out on it. So I was like, I'm going out on dates, doing this thing. Fast forward to the end of November, mid-end November. Tom and Kristen are broken up. I'm out on a date with a guy. And Tom hits me up and is like, what are you doing? Do you want to come hang out with me and my friend? And I was like, kind of over what I was doing.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. So I go and I meet up with them, and then the vibe is different. Like all of a sudden it was like the vibe is different.
Now it's on.
He's like acting like,
yeah.
I've known Tom at that point for 3 years or so.
Yeah.
We've been friends for 3 years, and I'm like, this is definitely very different.
Yeah.
Like what the vibe he's putting out. He's like buying my drinks now all of a sudden. I'm like, okay. And then I was like, well, maybe I don't hate this though. Like I actually, okay. Again, I was like trying to say yes.
As the end of season 2, are you now like considered a regular? Or are you still would you get just paid like per day that they filmed?
I had like an overall, like a lump, like for the season.
To participate.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. And then there was like there was like a bonus thing added on, I think, for like if you were more involved, that type of thing. So yeah, and then we just started going down that road, making out, hanging out, making out. And then on January 1st, we like took a trip together, and then when we were on that trip, he told me he loved me. So. That's cute.
And have you said it back yet?
I have.
Like 4 years later.
It's been 6 years, and I finally said it back.
Oh my God! And then
it's a long story, but
and then we saw that then you and Kristen then eventually got along throughout the years, and that doesn't you guys are good with that. And, so then how did well, let's talk about a little bit about first of all, there's some questions here. Okay. Now I saw that you tweeted something. You were like, yes, I'm bi or something.
Yeah.
What was that in response to?
That was in response to a clip I saw of Jax on Watch What Happens Live after show.
Okay.
And somebody called in with some kind of question, and Jax said that Ariana doesn't want to have kids or get married or something like that because she likes women. Funny, he said that sitting next to Andy Cohen, who is not married and gay, who has a child.
Right. That wasn't the greatest thing to say, but yeah.
No, and he also kind of phrased it as an insult. And I'm sorry, but there's nothing wrong with me liking women. I like women and men, and I'm bi, and it's nothing new, and it's not groundbreaking, and it's not unique. There's millions of people out there that are just like me.
Right, and then we saw that you and Lala last season.
Yeah.
Or you just talked about a night that you weren't filming, that you had some fun in the back of the car together. And is that weird when it's a friend? Because right now there's a rumor going around that on Real Housewives. It's like page 6 rumor.
I saw
Real Housewives
that.
of Beverly Hills. Now, Brandy, I've known for many years, and she came on the show, and she's been very open about the fact that she's had threesomes with boyfriends and husbands. That
I didn't
she's
know that
had-
about her.
That she's had one-on-one relationships with a woman. That she's had just fun nights with girls. She's been very open about it in her own life. And in fact, one of the housewives a couple seasons ago, they made out in a pool or she talked about it. Anyway, so the rumor is.
Yeah, what's the rumor?
The rumor is, according to page 6 is saying they've talked to people working on the show, that Brandy and Denise Richards were sleeping together. And Brandy was under the impression that Denise and her new husband, Aaron, had an open marriage and this was something that was okay. And somehow revealed it to the other people. And Denise got pissed because of Aaron. And then somehow all the shit went down while they're filming in Rome, which I know for a fact Brandy didn't go to Rome because I was listening to one of her episodes and she was like, I couldn't go to Rome. So Brandy wasn't there. And the other women confronted Denise. And then Brandy tweets like, I've been Denised. And then like all these cryptic tweets.
What?
And everybody's like, is this just to get us to watch? Or like, did this?
Right.
Because this is some juicy fucking shit. Like
and they haven't had juicy shit
I
in a while.
No, I mean, it was all puppy game with your boss. And so it was like.
Lucy apple juice.
Yeah, so
whatever.
I don't know, but I kind of was like, look, this is my question. Because not being a bisexual woman myself, but I'm one of my favorite things in life is when someone becomes a late in life lesbian, like they've never tried it, and then all of a sudden, like I got divorced, and like that, like all those stories. I love it. People write me their late in life lesbian. My aunt, like I like it, but I'm always like, I just don't think if I was ever to go down that it would be like with my person I had a real friendship with. Like,
I mean, that is a good point. Yeah.
I think it's kind of weird because it seems like a lot of gay guys I know that have strong friendships with each other, they don't fuck around.
They wouldn't.
Ever.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of like, that's why when I heard the Denise and Brandy thing, I go, I just don't believe it. I think they're both gorgeous, but I kind of feel like they wouldn't go down that route. But I'm like, what do I know? And then I thought about you and Lala.
I think it's crazy.
And you and Lala were
so
friends.
Her husband didn't know about this the whole time?
This is what
is that the
that's what it is, and it may have caused a little bit of a rift.
Well,
with
I mean,
them.
if it's true, I mean,
yes.
allegedly,
right.
rumor.
Yeah.
If you're keeping something from your significant other who is not given the okay on it, or is maybe not a part of it, and you're being deceitful, I feel like that's really not okay.
But is it weird then to get together with someone that's been like your good friend?
I mean, I guess it's a case by case. It would have to be a case by case basis.
I guess it doesn't really matter. I guess it's just like if you got together with like a guy friend and you're like, well, that's never happening again.
Yeah, kind of.
I guess so.
I mean, that's kind of that's me and Lala.
Yeah.
We're like, well, okay, that was funny. Like, and I think that's why Tom didn't think anything of telling the story, because he was like, this funny thing that happened on our way to the forum or whatever. Like, and then it was. It wasn't funny because it was, he was trying to be cool for his guy friends a little bit. Yeah.
Okay. So you weren't pleased with that.
I wasn't pleased with the telling of it, but the actual night and the whole thing all that was fine.
You just had to Lisa Rinna own it. Just own it. Just own it.
Yes.
Yeah. So yeah, because that had come out in previous seasons that you had a relationship.
Yes,
in the past with a girl.
Yeah,
like a serious one.
Not that serious.
Mm-hmm.
Not like, Facebook status. Not that sort of thing.
So do you and your Tom then have like an open thing, or
no.
is it? No. But you can get together with a girl.
I mean, I don't.
Okay. But like if you did,
if I said, Tom, I really want to hook up with this girl.
Heather McDonald.
With Heather. I really want to hook up with Heather. I'll text him right now and see what he says. No, I mean, I can't see myself doing that with anybody. But if I said that, I would see if he was like, yeah, sure. I don't know. I would still feel like I wouldn't really want to do that.
So you don't have like the rules that some people have, like, okay, but I have to be there, or B, it can only be in Vegas, or C, it can only be on my birthday.
Well, that's the thing about like something like a threesome, right?
Yeah.
Like in theory, sometimes it's like that sounds like a fun idea.
Yeah.
But then you start thinking about the rules.
Yes.
And like how much legwork would have to go into like making sure everybody's, you know what I mean?
Everyone got
and
their fair share.
myself included, like everybody's feeling good.
Right.
And then afterwards, what's the there's so much protocol. It's like, Jesus, I'm just tired
And
now.
what if you're
Just
the
go to
last
bed.
in line and they're like both tired and you're like, well, thanks a lot. Now I'm on the edge of the bed crying.
Yeah, exactly.
This fucking night sucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's too much work. It
Yeah.
really is.
Now, you did talk about the motherhood thing before, and and I think it's fine. I mean, I always think it's the greatest gift on earth if you know you don't want to be a mother, because it's hard. I have 3 of them. But do you still feel that way right now? Are you ever open to it? I know it's annoying to be asked, but I'm going to ask because people are asking.
I do, and I think
You never envisioned yourself being a mom growing up,
no,
and you still don't.
no.
Got it.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
I've envisioned myself ruling the world.
That's nice.
Yeah.
And from Valley Village. And
yeah, fuck yeah.
And
from the corner of Coldwater and Ventura.
So in purchasing the house together, in which you guys both purchased that together.
Yes.
Which
equally
is
together.
pretty much a marriage right there, because
yes.
if you do break up, that is going to be some
Hell,
legal
yeah.
nightmare.
Yeah, with thumbprints,
Yes,
30
got the
year
notary, yeah.
Yeah, 30 year. Yeah, we signed all those papers, we got a notary. We're in it.
And the same thing is you don't care to actually make it official.
I mean,
Lord's
we are
eye.
official.
But you're not married.
No.
But you don't care to be married.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or do that. You don't even want the fun of the party.
I think that's the worst part.
Really?
Yes.
I think that's the best part.
Yeah.
You don't want to get all dressed up.
No. I don't.
Well,
and I don't like wearing white either.
Weren't you a best man?
I was a groomsman,
groomsman in
Schwartz and Katie's
yes.
wedding. Yeah.
And your tux was so cute.
Thank you. It was from Express. I went to Express and I got a matching blazer and pants, and I went to Nordstrom Rack and got a white button-down shirt, and then Tom got all the bow ties and
Well, my daughter, I remember before prom, she was from All Girl High School. And I went to the same school, and when I was there, they were like, you have to go with a date. You have to go with a boy. Then they're like, well, a lot of us don't have boyfriends. Can't we just go and have some fun?
Yeah, what are you supposed to just go out and find a random boy?
So you can now go with your friends. Okay. And so she's like, my stepdaughter goes, would you be mad if I wore a tux to the prom? And I go, no, but you're going to wear something like Ariana wore. You have a little hot size 2 body. We're going to do a cigarette pant. We're going to do a fit. We're not going to go to Gary's tuck shop. Like, unless you're like.
No ruffle shirt.
Yeah, you don't care about looking like a dude. You just want to wear like whatever, something hot and cute. Like, or Portia's like cute outfit that she wore.
Oh, she's stunning.
To the
she's so beautiful.
Golden Globes. Like, yeah, you want to do like a skinny pant. Like.
Yeah, because otherwise sometimes then it looks like you're wearing your dad's clothes.
Yeah.
And it's like when it floods at the bottom.
Yeah.
Or it looks sometimes like you rented a really bad one from like Men's Warehouse or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then what happened with your brother that he's not around anymore on the show?
He's bartending at Sir. He's training Brett. I guess Brett's going to start bartending now.
Who's Brett?
That's Brett.
Oh, Brett's in the corner. That's the tall one that
Brett.
That kissed Sheena and said she was a bad kisser?
Yeah, but apparently he didn't remember the kiss at all, and then 6 months later said it was bad.
I thought that was such a dick move.
Hey, like, Brett's always been, like, super sweet, and I always thought he was a really sweet guy. When I heard that, I was like, can we lay off Sheena for a second?
I know.
Jeez.
Is Sheena still with her tall drink of water from Australia?
Oh, yeah. We just went on vacation with the 2 of them for New Year's.
I mean, when I met them at Bravo, I was like, this might be, like, the hottest guy I've ever seen in my life. He's so
sweet, too.
He reminds me of, what's his name? Momomo.
Jason Momoa, yeah.
Yeah, Jason Momoa.
He gets that a lot.
Because he has the long hair. He's super strapping. He's Australian.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Does he get featured in the show at all later on?
I don't think they started dating until
Oh, that's
after
right, 'cause
filming.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
So she has to continue to be on the prowl. And why does she still have to work there and nobody else does?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you'll see.
Yeah.
I'm coming in and out. I
Okay.
didn't want to be. I'm very uncomfortable with like even just like the twinkle in the eye of not working. I can't be that kind of person, and so
What do you mean twinkle in the eye of not working? What does that mean?
of like just even like the glimmer of a thought that Ariana is like not gonna that I don't have a job or I don't work
Oh,
or like
okay.
I can't sit at home like
Right.
and be like I'll just get drinks tonight. Like I
Yeah.
can't do that.
Right.
So it was important to me. I had taken time to buy the house, find a house,
Yeah.
buy the house, and taken time to complete at least the photo shoot portion of our
Yeah.
book. And then after that, I was like, okay, I want to do like a night at Sir. Like I don't want to be. Tom was doing spicy
Oh, so
tequila
then you do go back.
Tuesdays. Well, you'll see how it
Oh,
works
okay. You're
out.
saying,
Yeah.
okay.
But
And
Tom was doing spicy tequila Tuesdays, and James was coming back and DJing sometimes. And I was
Right.
like, "You're not leaving me out of this. I'm nobody's trophy wife." So
oh, good.
yeah,
Do you ride in the sidecar?
I have ridden in the sidecar.
Is it fun or like fun for 1 minute and then you're like, I'm good? I kind of feel like it's one of those things that's like fun for like a block and then you're like,
I mean, it's fun once you say I'm doing it and you get in and you know what I mean. But if Tom's like, "Do you want to do it?" I'm always like, "No." But if for some reason
So you still have it in the garage.
it's in the garage, yes.
And so when was the first time that you started to get like recognized? And you're just like walking around, you're going to Whole Foods, stuff like that. And do you love it? And has there ever been a time where you didn't enjoy it?
The only time I've ever not enjoyed it is if I'm like late to something
Mm-hmm.
and I know I'm gonna get in trouble or if
And someone's stopping you.
and I'm
Okay.
like, oh shit.
And you don't want to be rude to that person.
I don't want to be rude to that person, but like if I'm gonna miss a flight or
Yes.
or even if like we're on our way to go film or something and we're
Yes.
getting in trouble. And the only other time I've not enjoyed it is if I'm like watching someone perform. Like at a concert.
Oh, okay.
Or like a concert situation, and I want to talk to this person that's talking to me, but I feel like I'm not. But it's like this person's performing, and I always feel like I'm being rude to the performer. But other than that, I love it because I actually really like talking to people.
Yeah.
See, that's where I'm also kind of bad at it though, because sometimes it's like maybe even they just want to take a quick picture and like
they
leave.
didn't want your whole
And I'm
life
like,
story.
so where are you from? I'm like, so we're best friends. I'll follow you on Instagram. Like, I feel like, then they're like, I'm late, lady.
I know, and people always will say, I've always told people, listen, if you see your favorite reality star, at a restaurant, providing they're not crying or like really engaged or
Sure,
clearly
yeah.
like at a business meeting, I'm like, 99% of the chance they're going to be thrilled. That's what makes going out fun for them is being recognized. And I'm like, of course, with me, always come up to me. Never don't come up to me. But because they didn't go through the ranks of like a Julia Roberts where, the privacy is so important. They've never been private.
That's true.
And in their life, it's always been about social media and everything, and everybody knows everything. And if they're going to go out, that's what makes it kind of fun. I mean, have you ever gone out and you guys don't get recognized? And it was like, that was kind of boring. That one person approached us at the bar.
Actually, I feel like I'm pretty incognito a lot of times. Because I very rarely look like this. Like, this is,
Okay.
like, pretty put together for me.
Yeah, you look beautiful.
I'm usually, like, disgusting.
Okay.
So usually people will, sometimes they'll pass, even be with Tom on the pass, right? They won't even see me. I'll be like,
yeah.
and I'm like, well, it's probably for the best. I look like shit.
And how did your family and friends react to like you being on this crazy show? And
A lot of my friends, one of my friends was like, I need to up my blood pressure medication every time that the show's coming back on because some of my friends get really pissed.
Stressed for you.
Stressed. They get pissed because they're like, what the like if someone's saying something about me, they're like, what the fuck is that person even talking about?
yeah.
But then, my mom like she DVRs it. She watches it every time, sometimes multiple times. But we live far away from each other, so it's like.
And has there ever been
nice.
an uncomfortable episode where you're like, Mom, maybe skip it, or I don't want to discuss it, or?
I feel like there has been a couple times where it's like something sad.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel bad for my mom watching it because I don't want my mom to think that I'm like sad all the time. And I don't want it to make her sad.
Yeah.
You know?
Like there's one preview where you seem sad.
Yeah, I feel like that's going to make my mom sad. And I don't like that.
But you don't tell her what it is. She's
well, when I see her, she, you know, that's also one of those things where, you know, my mom and I are really close, but it's also when we see each other, we don't typically want to talk about that stuff. So she just watched me be real sad that one time.
And she lives in Florida?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Trying to get her to retire and move out here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I would love that.
You think she would like it?
She would. I think she would really like it.
Do you have siblings?
Yeah, it's just my brother.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's the only one?
Yeah, Jeremy.
Oh, and he's already here. So then that would make sense.
Right?
Yeah, that's good.
She needs to get her butt out here.
And, okay, of the new people, so how many new people are there?
Okay, so I feel like I need
a pointer? Yes.
Okay, so we have Danica.
Danica, which we
have not seen yet.
No, Danica here we have not seen.
Brunette Danica.
Okay.
Brunette Danica.
What's her story?
She's been a manager at SUR for a few years. I've been to music festivals with her.
Why are they just now bringing her out of the closet?
You know, There's a bunch of people that work at SUR that we've been friends with for years and years, and you always wonder, like, why aren't they around? But I don't make the decisions, so I kind of have to
aren't they like? Wouldn't anybody going to apply for the job pretty much have that be the end goal,
or at least know that it's a possibility?
Have you ever worked with a waiter that's just trying a little too hard? Like when the cameras aren't there, they're like, "Here's your goat cheese balls," and then when the cameras are there, they're like, like just like, or they'll be like, "Yeah, take the goat cheese balls and deliver them, Ariana. I'm fucking tired, bitch." And then you're like, "What's going on?" Like, has that ever happened?
Yeah. I feel like not to that extent. Not to that extent, but yeah, definitely there's been a few people who are like, you're like, what the hell is going on? Lala was a little bit like that in the beginning. We were like, she was like, I'm crazy, don't fuck with me. And we were like, what is this girl talking about? But then she chilled out a little bit.
When she was the gangster from Utah? Yeah. Okay.
When she was pussy popping at Lisa's pool. So Danica, SUR manager.
Okay.
Firecracker.
Finally coming out.
Out of the wood. They're like, let's do it.
Okay.
Max is the GM of Tom.
Okay.
Charlie is a new server at SUR.
Okay.
Dana is the server at SUR now, but she started working at Tom.
And you saw her at the Mondrian get together with Peter, the manager.
Which she says did not happen.
Well, she said, I just was peeing in the bathroom. Well, who would let someone that you haven't even hooked up with let them see you pee?
I don't know. I mean,
call bullshit on that. Poor Peter. And that was not a flattering angle either.
No. The whole thing was a little tragic.
And he's just taking like a tequila bottle and just drinking like this.
Oh, man.
I mean, you guys really, besides Lala, no one has like curtailed the boozing.
No, not yet, thus far. I swear from the months of May to September, I drink a lot more than I usually would.
Yeah.
To cope.
Right. Well, and also that's what you're doing. And it's like,
there's a lot of hanging out. It's
right. And what is your drink of choice?
Well,
or do you have many? Because I have many myself.
I thought I was on top. I thought I had figured it out. I thought I had cracked the code.
Okay.
Tito's and soda with 2 lemons. Sometimes I'll add a cucumber if I'm feeling real fancy.
That's a skinny girl drink.
Yeah. Really thought it was no hangover. I could have 6 of them and be like, and do my taxes.
Okay.
Right?
What
happened?
As
of the last 3 months, Now I get hangovers
Tito
from
turned on
them.
you.
Tito's really
Tito was like,
Tito.
fuck you. I found this with a lot of things.
Mm.
And I used to be the queen of Chardonnay. And I
shit.
still love Chardonnay, a buttery Chardonnay.
Mm.
It is like my heroin. It'll get me drunk the fastest. And so, like, last night I had a glass of it. I literally, if I have just one glass, it just makes me just relaxed, good.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm going to go out for, like, a rip at night and I start with a Chardonnay, I mean, I'm going to wake up and have a panic attack and pick up my phone and be like,
what did I do?
what did I post? What did I tweet?
Yeah.
And then, so then I sort of went to tequila, and then I was like, this is crazy. I can drink so many tequila-based drinks and barely be buzzed.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think something happens with your body, like,
yeah,
just like any other thing that you might
like
have
muscle
too much
memory?
of it, or so, I don't know. And then you got to, like, every couple of years, you just got to switch it up.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed. So I had
So what's now your new jam?
So now I'm experimenting with mezcal being my go-to.
That's like tequila that's like smoky.
Sure, yeah.
Isn't that?
I mean, it's made from agave in the same way that
Okay.
tequila is made from agave, but it's made differently and it does have a different flavor.
Okay.
But what I'm hoping will be my saving grace with mezcal is that there's not really like a bottom shelf mezcal because they don't make as much of it as they do tequila.
So it's
and
expensive.
the process is different. Yeah, so I'm hoping that will keep it
like
from
a special occasion
getting me or like giving me the way that like a shitty vodka or shitty tequila will give you a hangover like that.
You think it's expensive?
I don't know. I'm grasping at straws at this point because I really thought I was good. And now I feel like I've been betrayed.
What about the pre-hangover stuff? Do you do like the Botox patches or anything?
I have done the patch before and it worked, but I could smell and taste the vitamins.
You can you go to the bathroom and you can smell it coming off your ass.
No, like in your because it's like going into your mouth.
I know.
You could feel like in the same way like you put the patch on and you can like taste it. It's really weird.
I don't taste it, but I can a little bit smell it.
Right?
Yeah, when I go to the bathroom.
Because it's like in your blood.
Also, I think that doesn't work as well if you continue to use it too much.
I'm sure it doesn't.
Just like every other like drug, like you need to step it up. And so I try not to.
Then you just cover your body in patches.
No, I just try to only use it when I'm like, all right,
really?
I'm gonna mix. I want a cocktail to start. I'd like some red wine at dinner.
Mm-hmm.
I might even do something else after. I better put the patch on.
Right.
That's when I have to do it.
My ultimate hangover cure, Tom and I agree on. I got him onto this. Midol Complete.
Oh.
Because Midol Complete has like everything. It's got caffeine, antihistamine.
Oh, that's a good tip.
Diuretic and a pain reliever.
And
so
if
it's
you
like
have your period, you're good.
And well then just added bonus.
When Tom gets his period.
Right.
I love that he's taking a Midol.
Well, one day he was hurting and he was like, do you have any ibuprofen? And I was like, I don't. I have this. But I'm telling you it will work.
Okay.
And he was like, I don't know why guys are weird about I'm like,
you're not
it's
like sticking a tampon up his ass.
Yeah.
It's
and
a
so
Midol.
he was like, are you sure? I was like, just take it. And then from that point forward, he knew that it was the cure.
That is good.
Yeah.
Okay, and then over here, is this guy.
That's Brett.
Okay.
Brett is a server at Sir, and I saw my brother was training him to bartend the other night, so maybe eventually he'll start bartending.
So nobody's working at Pump? Pump doesn't get featured?
No.
Oh, so people should know not to go to Pump. They want to see you guys. And
Richardson, who's one of the managers at Tom, he was also, he and I met, he worked at Villa Blanca first.
I actually prefer Pump.
I like Tom the best.
Well, no, Tom is great.
Yeah.
But between Pump and Sir, I like the menu and the atmosphere better at Pump. I like their cocktails better. Mm-hmm. They have this really good, like,
the ambiance I like.
And they have, like, this really good, like, warm salmon salad. I don't know. I just liked their menu better. Sir, of course, became before of it. And then when I went to Pump, I was like, oh, I like this menu better. So then if I would go out there like a couple times a year, I'd always choose Pump.
Yeah. If I was going to go just get like drunk on like a DJ night or something, like Sir is great for like a party.
Oh, okay.
To party. if I'm going to get cocktails or food, obviously I feel like Tom has the best cocktails and the best food.
Well, the atmosphere is beautiful,
but if
too.
I was going to get brunch, I would go to Pump. Because they
Mm.
have like the outdoor garden area.
Is that where Billy has her brunch with Billy?
No, it was at Sir.
Oh, that's at Sir.
Yeah.
And did that end?
Yeah, she just wanted to move on.
Well, she was at your party. I saw her there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Love her.
Oh, you do love her. Now you love all
Yes.
the new people, too.
I do love all of the new people.
Why do you?
Some of our OG cast is not on board
Now,
with
do you
it.
think they don't like them because it's taken screen time from them and storylines from them? Or,
I get that some people are protective. They
Mhm.
think, oh, maybe they're not being genuine. They're just being
right. Coming on the show.
I can understand that.
Yeah.
But I've gotten to know them, and I've known them all like on and off camera.
Right.
So I don't agree with that. I think that what they have going on is genuine, and I think that they're all putting themselves out there, and I really enjoy them.
Yeah.
All individually. Doesn't mean I like what Brett said about Sheena, but I
Right.
like Brett as a person.
And then the Dana
Yes.
is dating him, but he's gonna go to Palm Springs with Sheena.
Yeah.
But they're sort of seeing each other.
Yeah, and him and Sheena are
And they've already
friends.
boned.
Yes. Yeah. We need a diagram. You need the pointer.
Okay.
Yeah, you need the pointer.
And then we've got Stassi
We got Stassi and Bo.
and they're engaged.
Yes.
And everyone likes Bo.
Yes. Everybody likes Bo. That should be the name of his show. That's what we're going to call Bo's show.
And then Katie and Tom have been together for a very long time.
Very long time.
So what's the deal? Are they trying to have a baby?
I think that they do want to do that eventually.
We know Jax
I think they're taking
and
their
Brittany
time.
want to have babies.
They are very vocal about that.
Want to have a lot. Got to have my mom move out and watch them.
Mama's going to babysit.
He was great. He came on the show, and all he cared about was that he heard that he wasn't going to get that many trick-or-treaters because somebody told him that in that particular neighborhood, there's Hasidic Jews and they don't trick-or-treat or something.
Okay.
And anyway, people drove from all over to go trick-or-treat at his house. And he got 69 trick-or-treaters.
Wow.
And all my Juicy Scoopers, like the next...
69?
I had so many... Oh, maybe it was 61. He did count. He counted.
Wow, he tallied?
He, was so excited. And
Oh,
then
my God.
someone said... Then when like people on my Facebook page were like, did anybody wake up this morning the day after Halloween hoping that Jax got some trick-or-treaters? It was cute.
Oh, my
Okay, and then
gosh.
here you guys are.
That's us, yeah.
Looking gorge. And then how's Raquel? Now, you were one of the few people that attended the puppy
party.
Yes, with the sweaty meats in 105-degree August weather. Did you bring your dog to the puppy party for Raquel?
No, I did not. It was only for it was a party for her puppy.
And it was a very tight schedule. It was just from 2 to 4, I think.
Something like that. Well, listen, we also have call times. We can't stay too late.
Yeah.
We have to go do something else.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But
I stand Queen Raquel. Like I love Raquel.
I mean, she really is so sweet.
Yes.
After your reunion or right around, I got an outfit. I did an impression of her.
Oh my gosh.
And I had I put bubble wrap on me and stuff because it was very
the ruffles. Yes.
And I did her and she had a great attitude about it. So
I love that.
It was fun.
I really love that.
And then we've got Lala.
Yeah.
Are you going to be in her wedding?
I don't think I'm going to be in her. I'll be at her wedding.
So am I.
Ooh, see you then.
Very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then it's fun that we're going to be able to see Randall.
I think it's
so.
good.
How was the premiere party? Everyone's talking about that.
It was lit.
That apparently, where did it come out that Lisa made some dig? Somebody reported that Lisa made a dig that Bravo didn't give you a premiere party, and that in fact
it's not
Randall
the first
hosted
time that they. It's not the first time that they haven't. I feel like
I didn't know that every show even had a premiere party.
See, I feel like that's why I don't feel like it's for Bravo. I don't think they're like, okay, we got to have a big premiere party for Vanderpump Rules.
Yeah.
Like I think that, in years past they have, and then they maybe haven't, and then, there was one year where it was at Sir because they said they weren't going to. And then even Tom Sandoval was the one, him and his publicist, Adam, were like, well, we're going to make one.
Yeah,
and then
I kind of feel it's one of those things where there's so many cooks in the kitchen as far as many as you guys, as many producers, as many executives at Bravo.
We filled up Hyde with all of our people.
Yeah, but if not one person makes the plan, then it's not going to get done.
Yeah,
and maybe
somebody has to just say,
spearhead
it, say, I'm going to do it. And, that's what Randall did. And it was really fun.
That's great.
Yeah, it was a really fun party.
And then did you guys have it, were you watching it with the screens or no?
No, we didn't have it on.
Just for fun.
Yeah, just for fun. And all the crew gets to come.
Oh,
and
that's good.
People who work in the office who sometimes we've never met. People who...
So it was really celebrating.
So editors sometimes never get to meet us.
It really was celebrating the actual show.
The
people.
team, the whole team that makes it happen, and they're all awesome. So
I guess I shouldn't be sad that I wasn't invited. Was
Don't
Danny Pellegrino there?
No.
Okay, I'm all right. I thought maybe I was losing my luster. That's nice, though.
Yeah.
I think Randall is hilarious.
He is hilarious. I think it's going to be fun to see him.
He has so much energy. He's such a positive, funny person, like a great storyteller.
Oh, yeah.
I think it'll be. And it was nice to see that, according to Instagram and whatnot, that Lala and Randall's mother of his children, that they did a couple things together. So that seems to have
it looks
smoothed over, and that's really important. I'm happy for them.
Well, Lala and Randall are in it for the long haul. I mean, they're getting married, so I feel like it's really good that everybody can come together and celebrate being a blended family. I understand, obviously, things... I've been there before, where things are rocky with somebody in the beginning and you don't get along or you don't see eye to eye on things. And so I hope that continues.
Yeah, it looks like it's doing well.
Yeah.
Okay, people want to know, what is your workout and diet, because you have such a great body.
Thanks, guys. Thanks. I don't diet. I generally don't particularly like sweets. Maybe that helps. I don't know.
So you're like a healthy eater.
Yeah, but I'm not. I do really like cheese and hummus.
Do you like bear cheese?
I love bear cheese. I want Mama's bear cheese. I do love beer cheese. Hers is really spicy too. And obviously I drink. So I feel like that part of it is I just try to everything in moderation, I guess.
Yeah.
So if I'm going to eat something really bad, I try not to
Have you ever done the intermittent fasting? We have to go 16 hours.
I don't do that on purpose.
Yeah.
But I think sometimes I don't really like to eat when I wake up.
Me
the
neither.
idea of eating.
I like coffee though. Do you drink coffee?
I drink Celsius energy drink, which is like a green tea extract kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, I drink that. Or coffee or tea or something.
Yeah, I can go in the morning pretty late to 10:30.
I go pretty late.
And I wake up at 6:20, and I'm I could have a couple cups of coffee and not really be hungry till 10.
Yeah,
so I'm like, oh, I think I'm doing that.
Yeah, you're just doing it.
Yeah.
You're just doing it.
Yeah.
You should just tell people, I'm an intermediate faster. And then as far as working out goes, I ride horses.
Oh, that's right. You're an equestrian.
Yeah.
Equestrian extraordinaire.
I could break somebody's neck with my inner thigh muscles. I feel like they're really tough. From that.
Have you always been a little horse girl?
Yeah, I'm a horse girl.
Did you come from a real wealthy family?
No, not at all.
How did you afford the horses?
I only had one.
Did it live in your room with you?
I wish. It just wasn't like that. It wasn't like a bunch of rich people at my barn or in my area doing it. I'm sure there were at horse shows, but...
How old did you start?
I started riding when I was 6.
And how did that even come about? You just asked to do it, or your family was a horse family?
I really wanted to do it, and I asked my mom, and my mom said, I remember when I was a little girl, I really wanted to do it, and I wasn't able to, and so she looked up in the phone book a place to take riding lessons, and I started taking lessons. And then I got my own horse 2 years after that.
And where's that horse now?
She's dead.
How did she die?
She's old. We were the same age. So it was when I was 30 and So 4 years ago. Wow.
Would
it's a long
you
time.
like braid her tail and stuff?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, and I would do horse shows with her and stuff, and we would win blue ribbons and
And so now when you
jump
ride a
her
horse,
and-
do you just borrow people's horses in
No, I
Burbank
have
or
my
what?
own.
Oh, you do have your own
Yeah,
horse.
I do now, yeah.
What's your horse's name?
Walter.
Oh, so you went with a man.
I did. He's
So
a
you really
big
are
boy.
bisexual. You went from a girl horse to a boy.
I ride both way. Oh, jeez.
So you ride your Walter,
Yes.
and do you do like adult competitions
Yeah.
too?
Oh, yeah.
Have you ever gone up against Teddy Mellencamp?
No, I have not.
I would love
I
to
think
see that happen.
she-
Well, she's pregnant right now. Or has she
Oh.
given? No, she gave birth. No, has she not? No, she must be just about to give birth. But yeah, she does the horses too.
Yeah, she's a really good rider.
But you've
actually.
gone riding with Lisa,
Lisa,
right?
Yeah.
That's fun.
Little trail rides. It's really fun to ride with Lisa.
Would you ever want to have a miniature horse in Valley Village?
No. Well, I also don't have helpers. You know, I don't
Yeah.
have people that do. I don't have anybody doing anything for me.
Right.
So the idea of having a mini horse at my house and having to feed them at like 7 a.m. and pick up their poop all of
So
that stuff. So
where do you go? Do you go to the place in Burbank?
yeah, that's
So
where my horse is at.
Is that one of the reasons you wanted to live in Valley Village?
I wanted to
Because
live
it's
close.
not far. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a 10
Yeah.
minute drive sometimes if there's no traffic. And that's what something I really wanted.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's great. I love that.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see if there's
So
anything
yeah, I do
else.
that. I have a treadmill at home now and I lift weights.
Now, are you pursuing any kind of like real acting stuff anymore?
I see what comes in, but I'm not going out and I'm not not in the same way that I was. I'll say that. Because
Like if something gets presented to you, you would do it, but you're not actively pursuing
I'm
like,
not
real...
pounding the pavement in the way that I used to.
Yeah.
And but it's definitely something I always really enjoyed doing.
Mhm.
I feel like I want to. There's a lot. I'm one of those people that, you know, like, what do you want to do? And I'm like, I could give you a book of things that I want to do. You know, it's like
Yeah.
I want to have more books out and I want to have product lines. So if I could find the time to be more on the other side of things, I
Yeah.
think that would be really fun too.
When you guys have to do
Development
those
and that sort of
commercials
thing.
for Bravo, like a movie's coming out or something.
Yeah, those are fun.
Yes. Do you like? How does that work? Does anyone ever get jealous that you didn't get picked for it?
Yes. Yes. People do. Yeah.
And how is it? How do the people get picked? How do they decide between, like, there's a girls' movie out, and I know that Lala and Sheena did that video. Now, did they write that song? Are they actually singing
they
that
didn't
song?
write that song, but they did record it. I was supposed to do it with them.
Why? What happened?
We were on our book tour when they filmed it. So I couldn't do it. I know. But I'm obsessed with it. I think it's so fun.
It's really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then what about, now there was this one thing that really upset the viewers watching Real Housewives of New York. And it was a very fake commercial that they had to stick into the show. And it was
in the actual show?
Yes, it was Dorinda took Sonia to see that movie with Rebel Wilson and, oh my God, and Anne Hathaway. And they were like girlfriends that were like, I don't know, thieves or something. And the way they did it, it was like...
Was it like if you all of a sudden just started
Like
in mid-sentence starting talking about Arrowhead
It was
Water?
called The Hustle. And this is what it was like. They were watching
Oh my God.
and then Dorinda's like, I got really excited because I love going to movies and I was able to see the premiere. I was able to get an advanced screening of The Hustle. So I brought Sonia. And then they see them walking out of the movie and then they go to eat. And they're like, the part I really like is that the friendship, I'm not kidding, the friendship between the two of them. And I mean, I haven't
So
seen
they're giving like plot points
Yeah, and they're
as like
it
promo.
they're like, it was funny, but it was also a story about female sisterhood and empowerment. And I really loved seeing all the scenes in Europe. And people were like, fuck you, Bravo. Like, you can, you're like, we already saw Tinsley like say,
Oh
ooh,
my
do you have
God.
some Carrie lotion I could rub on my hands? Like, they'd already had a couple things like that in New York.
Yeah.
And like, I don't mind.
And it wasn't something that they like just, it wasn't like they,
yeah.
like if I just said like I love my
Yes, it was
whatever,
like, I mean,
that's like,
so that's why I'm like, I
just
have a
me.
lot more respect for when I'm watching Bravo and then all of a sudden it's Kyle and something and they're like, pitching a movie, but they were paid. They went.
Yeah.
Like, I care about the actor, so I'm like, I want to know that like this was a separate paycheck.
Yes,
you
yes,
you
yes.
weren't just bullied into going to see The Hustle or whatever that movie was, and like you came on a Saturday, you got
Oh my
paid to be in this
God.
commercial and talk about this thing, But yeah, so
Well, they
I
tried
like
it. They tried it out, and then I
Yes.
guess it just was.
So be
it was
grateful
not a hit.
that they haven't come back and had you guys do it.
Oh my God,
You
that
know-
sounds insane.
And then I just remember one time Ramona just was like, there was like a massive fight going on in like one of the rooms, like on a trip. And she has like this skincare line. And she just was like sitting on the bed like this. She was just holding the bottle.
What the heck?
And I mean, because she was finally like, fuck, I've been on the show for 14
I might
years.
as well. Yeah.
I haven't been aggressive enough like Bethany. Like,
yeah.
So I think it's good that if you to have a product,
my
you have
gosh.
something that you
Be
show
aggressive.
it. You have to be a little
Yeah.
aggressive.
I need to
about
be
it.
better about self promotion and being
Like,
aggressive.
let's be aggressive about the
Let's
book.
be real aggressive.
'Cause
So
you
my
guys did
favorite
talk about
So
the
my
book.
favorite part was when
How long did it take you to do all these photos? I mean, these photos are like
Yeah.
really gorgeous of you guys.
Thank you. Yeah, we have our photographer Kelly Paleo is honestly one of the most talented photographers I've ever seen in my life. So basically, it was a 5-day photo shoot. There was a load-in day before and a load-out day afterwards. Almost all the glassware in all of these are things that she owned because she collects vintage glassware. She has a storage unit full of vintage
That's
glassware.
awesome.
Yeah, and for 5 days it was 16, sometimes 18 setups a day, and because we did a photo for every single drink, so 16 setups a day for 5 days. Yeah,
I love
80
that
something.
vintage. I remember watching an episode of Mad Men, and like it was about them drinking Bloody Marys like in the morning as parents or whatever,
Yeah.
and they and then all of a sudden they're like, go to bed, and the kids are like, it's 6 o'clock at night, and they're like, oh sorry, they've been drinking all day. And the glasses were glasses that my parents had.
Oh,
like
that's cool.
And I was like, oh my
That's
God, I
really
remember
cool.
those gold leaf glasses. Like,
Yeah.
and you know that. So I love that she had the real stuff. Now, what was one? Okay, see, some of these things are kind of crazy.
That's you're in the trashy section.
Okay, so where's
So
the
look
one
at
where you use the
the drink rating? So it's super trashy.
Okay. And then where's the thing for the one that has the packet from McDonald's ketchup or something?
Oh, that's back here. I'll
Okay.
find it.
That had a lot of controversy about the McDonald's ketchup or
Guess
whatever.
what? It's really fucking good. So people should chill out and try it.
And how did you ever come up with it?
This is honestly one of the best Bloody Marys. Just Bloody Desperate.
and
it's
how
so
did you
good.
guys come up with this?
Experimentation. I feel like what ends up happening is that, sometimes you go to a friend's house after, we all go out to a
Yeah.
bar.
Right.
And then someone's like, oh, come back to my place. And then they're like, I have alcohol. And then you show up and it's like, they have a bottle of vodka and then like no mixers, nothing.
Right.
So then, Tom is a really good like cocktail MacGyver. So we'll like start rummaging around in their pantry or in that, that drawer. We all have that
Right.
drawer in the kitchen, in the fridge. And they're like, well, you got hot sauce, or you got hot sauce, you got a lemon, you got vodka, you got, and then all of a sudden it's like, you can actually make a drink out of that. And
I
this
love
one
it.
is
So
really
this is
good.
2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of water, 3 fast food ketchup packages, 1 Cholula hot sauce packet, splash of pickle juice, which is optional, and like garnished with a pepper packet. And you shake it all up in an empty water bottle.
Yeah, one of these actually. So,
So we're reusing it. Don't yell at us.
yeah. And it's also eco-friendly because you're reusing a plastic water bottle.
Yes.
So this line right here, this first line, is 2 ounces. So when you're making that, you can pour 2 ounces. You can pour the vodka up to this line, and that is exactly 2 ounces. Then the line after that is 1 ounce.
I love it.
So it's actually, you kind of have like a measuring system right here built in. And then honestly, put the cap on and shake it up. I mean, what's the difference between that really and a nice shaker?
This is funny. You guys right here. A lot of people who watch Vanderpump Rules think we have some kind of deal with Taco Bell, but you don't, huh?
Mm-mm. I wish. Give me that Taco Bell money.
How have they not?
Katie Schwartz, Jackson, Brittany did like a thing with them
Like a social media thing or something?
Yeah, like a thing with them, but it was well after all of the talk of
Right.
Taco Bell and loving Taco Bell and going to Taco Bell. It was like a post, oh, we should have them on this thing.
Well, as you know, my last name is McDonald.
So
And
you love a
I
McDonald's moment.
do love McDonald's, and I really love how they've like upped their game and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And I have friends at my level or a little above, whatever, that have gotten these campaigns with McDonald's. And I'm like, how are you not reaching out to Heather McDonald?
Heather McDonald from McDonald's.
So we did a whole video ourselves.
Oh my God.
And I tried to send it to the marketing team at McDonald's.
And what happened?
And I told my agent, and they're like, "That's cute." They don't care. They're like, "Who are you?"
Yeah.
Anyway, I tried.
Oh
my
God.
At a certain point, I'm like, you know what? Forget it.
I know the feeling.
How can you not?
I feel like it's a no-brainer. You could have it. What if it was
how lazy are the people in their
there should
jobs?
be
Come
a
on.
juicy scoop McFlurry.
Absolutely.
What would be in the juicy scoop McFlurry? It'd be like,
well, I mean, I love like a shake. So what I think it would be is, oh my God,
so many choices.
I think it would be vanilla,
Mm-hmm.
peanut butter,
Ooh.
and Oreo mixed all together. Are you freaking kidding me right
Yeah.
now? How yummy that would be with vanilla
That would be
ice
so
cream.
cool.
Like,
I would love that. I would eat that.
Totally.
Drink it, eat it with a spoon. I don't know.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, whatever you want, they melt it and suck it up. Oh my God.
I don't know what they're doing. Not hiring you.
I don't know either. Oh, are you? Tell me about when you were at Cinderella at Disneyland.
Oh, DisneyWorld in Orlando.
Disney World.
Yeah.
How did you get that job?
Well, when I was in college, we had Disney people come, and there was like a audition kind of process.
Yeah.
And me and two other people from my college were chosen to come down to Orlando, because I was in St. Augustine, to come down to Orlando and be fur characters. Like Chip and Dale were my first. I'm Chipmunk Height Range.
And how hot was that?
Very there was one time do you remember in Pinocchio, there's like the fox and then the little cat that follows him around that's drunk all the time? So Gideon is the little drunk cat's name.
Yeah.
And that is the worst of the worst. The opening is so small that it's like, and it's very close here.
Oh.
So that was the worst. Chip and Dale, very cute. Love them so much. Big Chipmunk fan.
How did you stay cool in the outfit, though, in the Florida heat?
You just deal with it for the 20 to 25 minutes and then go back inside.
Oh, my God.
But through that, then they had, you have to do that first.
Okay. You
and
can't
then,
just walk up and be Cinderella?
No. You have to go to a separate thing.
Geez.
So then I went to a separate thing, and they thought my face looked enough like a cartoon. So,
yeah.
Yeah.
And then did you have to do a Cinderella voice when you talk to the children?
Yes, kind of.
Can I do it? Hey, Mommy, it's Cinderella. Hi.
Hello, Princess. How are you today?
Good.
You look so beautiful. Are you enjoying your time here?
I am, but the lines are so long. Can you get us in front?
I'll ask my fairy godmother.
That's good.
I mean, you just kind of talk, just
a little bit whispery.
A little bit whispery and very, very sweet. And everyone says certain things that are specific to them as people. Cinderella says things are lovely, and she does have a fairy godmother, and mice that are friends.
Now, I've noticed that sometimes when I'm at Disneyland and Cinderella has to get somewhere, like on a float, or she's going
She's
somewhere.
got places to be.
She can't stop and talk to every little
She
4-year-old.
can't.
And they kind of have people walking, and she's like, has to
Her
be a
greeters,
bitch,
yeah.
Right? Just do you think that prepared you for your life as a reality star? Of just like, you got to get, like, you guys are in Vegas and you just got to get to the thing and everyone's coming at you.
Well, I need a greeter.
Like,
I don't have a greeter. I don't have a,
But haven't you all gone to Vegas and had some security? And it reminds you
Sometimes,
of when you were at Cinderella? Come on.
You know what? Well, here's the thing. What's crazy about like Cinderella is that when people see her, they freak out. They freak out. They scream. They start running.
People or children? People
So I
too?
think I'm-
full growns.
Both. I mean, a lot of adults. I'm one of those adults that goes to Disney World.
Yeah.
I love it. So I would be that. I probably wouldn't scream, but I would be one of those people. I feel like that is like so much more. Like she's so much more iconic than I would ever be in my wildest dreams.
Yes.
So I've had the people screaming and running at me, but it's not me. It's
Right.
Cinderella. So then it's like just me. They're like, hey, can I get a picture? What's the show you're on? Oh, yeah.
I don't know who you are, but my wife says I
They
should take
do
a
all
photo. I hate that.
Or they'll
I
be
don't
like-
watch it, but my wife would kill me if I didn't get a photo. So I don't know if someone says you're something.
Yeah.
You're like,
Say
Jesus,
that all the
asshole.
time.
Like,
Or they'll be like, Stassi! Because she's the only other
Yeah.
blonde girl,
Right.
for a second. And I'm like, hi. It's not me, but hi. Yeah. But yeah, I'll never be on Cinderella's level.
if they ever say Stassi, you should just be like, you should be like a total bitch. And then someone then you see on Reddit, how ran into Stassi at da-da-da. She was flipped me off. Delightful Beau was not there. That's why she's probably such a bitch when he's not around. And you start a whole thing.
A whole thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just go with it next time. Just like really lean in.
So how long did you do Cinderella? Like a summer or a really long time?
Like 2 years over on and off because I had to go back to I would go back to school.
And
come
when
back.
was your aha moment to say goodbye to Cinderella?
Well, I had to move out. I had to move to New York. I had to.
But did you look around and go, this is what I do in my life? It's called the anti-secret. And I'll see somebody that's doing something I'm doing, but they're like older than me. And I'm like, I just don't want to be that.
Oh, yeah.
So did you see any, like, could you have turned into like an old stripper? Like, could you have been Cinderella?
Yeah.
And then once you started to approach like mid-30s, they're like, or even younger,
They're like, can you step down, please?
can you start working the fry machine at the Matterhorn restaurant? And you're like, I always wonder about that, like in Vegas too. Like
when they have to
for
have
sure
that
for
conversation.
sure the hot, and then sometimes you see the cocktail waitresses and they have to wear now orthopedic shoes, but they still have nylons on, and it's just and it's still skinny legs, but like a poochie tummy because they're like 50-ish, and you're like, oh, they didn't get out.
They didn't get, but then someone has to tell them to get out.
And then they have
and
to
that's
go,
the word.
Actually, we think it would be better if you wore this blazer and pants
Oh my God.
and start working the roulette machine or whatever. And you're like,
that's horrible.
did that happen to anybody at Disneyland? Did you ever look at that person and go,
There were a couple people who, when I was there, I feel like I was there at a time in my life where it was like I was, first of all, obviously I also grew up very close by. So I grew up on it. So very stoked to be there.
yes.
Loving it so much. Coming back from meeting and taking pictures with kids and stuff and
Yes.
literally going into the dressing room and crying because I'm that was so touched by some of the things that people were saying and doing.
Yeah.
So loved it so much. And to me, the money was great.
Yeah.
And then, you'd see people sometimes in the back that were had maybe been there too long, maybe not making what they want to make, that are much older, who are maybe not enjoying it so much. And hearing them talk about it, I feel like that would be the moment of I don't want to feel the way they feel about this.
Right.
I love that I'm loving this. I don't want to be, and I also don't want to be one of those people that's trying to skip out or be bad at work. When people
Yeah.
get to that point where they're screw it, I'm gonna go.
Did you ever have
know.
did you ever have competition with Snow White or anything or the other Cinderella? Obviously there were a few.
Well, of
And
course,
it was oh, why do you get to do the electrical parade and I don't?
there is a little bit of that because you do have to audition the princesses don't really dance in the,
Oh.
but there are color codes for your animations, your puppetry skill and your dance skill, and you go to these auditions and you get ranked.
Yeah.
And of course, there's certain coveted things that are super cool, the chimney sweeps. Those guys are freaking awesome.
I just remembered I went on a meeting maybe 5 or 6 years ago with a few producers and whatever. I'm not gonna say who the name was, but one of the guys was a major sitcom star, and he was had this idea for a show, and someone recommended I could write it. And he said when he was in Florida, he was at a strip club, and the strippers said that they were Disney princesses, and then they would be strippers at night. And you know what? I I was like, I don't believe it. I don't believe it because I'm like, I don't think if you're a stripper, you're making enough money as a stripper, you wouldn't then wake up all bushy tailed
Yeah,
and do a
go
job.
put a wig on.
And I
Yeah.
also think there's like Disney's so strict about like image and all that type of stuff. I
very,
think they
very,
would probably
very
know
strict
if you
about
were a
everything.
stripper. So I think these strippers were just lying to these
I
guys
think they
at
were
the strip
lying
clubs
to get.
to
Yeah,
like
I mean,
add to
hey,
the fantasy or something.
I mean, good
So
idea.
you never knew any
No.
girls.
I do remember there was a time before I was, well, as we say, friends with, a time before I was friends with Cinderella or
Yeah.
Sleeping Beauty or any of them, and doing my like chipmunk stuff and seeing the with the beautiful hair
Yeah.
and everything,
Because
like
you guys would do wigs.
yeah,
Uh-huh.
and being like the cafeteria with like the wig but like the undergarments, like they give us like t-shirts
Yeah.
and pants to wear when you're not in so you don't mess
Yeah.
up the outfit. And they'd be in the cafeteria and like some of them are like sitting together and I was like, oh my God, they look so cool. I want to be them.
You want to be at the princess table.
I want to be at the princess table.
Yeah.
And then I was.
That's great. Well, I thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, Ariana.
Me
Everybody should get this
too.
book. This book would be a really cute Valentine's Day gift, birthday gift. It's very attractive just to have on your coffee table.
Yeah, it's
like
a
the
good
colors.
coffee table book.
And there's really fun. I mean, I'm like, this is good. This is what you should have for when people come over and you don't know what you.
Yeah, we spent a lot of there's a lot of love and blood, sweat, and tears in it, and I think it's a really high quality
It is. It's a really nice
book, and I love it. So hopefully everyone else gets it and loves it too.
And everybody watch Vanderpump. It's Tuesday.
Tuesdays now
Are
at
you
9.
aware how many episodes you guys did?
I actually don't know for sure how many episodes, but I mean last season I think was 21.
Oh
so
my God. Yeah. So we've got a long, fun road ahead. Thank you,
buckle
girl.
up. Thank you.